9 things to stop doing after 55 to enjoy life more. Over the past decade and a half, our firm, Streamline Financial in Illinois, has had the privilege of guiding hundreds of individuals in their 50s and 60s through the complex journey to retirement. We assist people all across the country with crucial aspects like tax, income, and investment planning as they approach this significant life transition. What we've discovered through these years of experience, and what often comes as a surprise to many, is a fundamental insight into what truly makes for the most successful and genuinely happy retirees. It's not about the myriad of new activities or possessions they accumulate. Quite the opposite, in fact. The secret to their profound satisfaction and increased enjoyment of life lies in the deliberate choices they've made to stop doing certain things. These aren't just minor adjustments, they are profound shifts that have significantly amplified their retirement success and overall life contentment. I'm going to share these 9 transformative habits they've shed. Be forewarned, one of these points, specifically the 7th one, might spark some strong opinions or even negative comments, but I believe its importance merits sharing publicly. Now let's dive into the first crucial change our happiest retirees embraced. 1. Stop taking your time for granted. One of the most profound shifts observed in truly happy retirees is their complete cessation of taking their remaining time for granted. This concept, often discussed by figures like Bill Perkins, becomes increasingly stark and real as we age. It's a fundamental truth that our physical health, while perhaps managed and maintained, inevitably begins a natural decline with the progression of years. This is simply an undeniable part of the human experience. Wealth, however, often follows a contrasting trajectory. For many, the later stages of life are when their financial nest egg is at its largest, the culmination of decades of hard work and diligent saving. Yet, there's a critical intersection point. If one postpones retirement or the enjoyment of their wealth for too long, that very decline in health can become a significant barrier to truly savoring the financial abundance they've painstakingly built. Activities that once seemed effortless, travel, hobbies, physical pursuits, or even simply enjoying daily walks, can become more challenging, less enjoyable, or even impossible. While everyone's goals are unique, a common desire shared by many is to enjoy the fruits of their labor now, while they still possess the vitality and physical capacity to do so fully. This understanding is often reinforced by a visual reminder many have encountered, a chart depicting your life in weeks. Imagining each horizontal line representing a year with 52 small squares truly brings home the finite nature of our existence. When you see your age, say 65 or 66, prominently displayed on such a chart, the remaining lines, representing the weeks ahead, become strikingly clear. It's not meant to be morbid, but rather a powerful call to action, to recognize the precious, limited time we have left, and to ensure we make the absolute most of it. Each week should be treated as a valuable, irreplaceable segment of life, to be used wisely and meaningfully, pursuing what genuinely brings joy and purpose. Of course, if your current work brings you immense joy, purpose, and profound meaning, then by all means continue. There's no inherent mandate to retire if you are genuinely fulfilled and thriving in your professional life. However, if the accumulating stress, the long hours, and the negative aspects of your professional life begin to significantly overshadow the positives, perhaps it's a profound signal. It might be time to seriously contemplate what comes next, to shift focus and embark on the next chapter of life with renewed purpose and energy before time erodes the ability to fully embrace it. This often leads seamlessly into the next important realization. 2. Stop saving unnecessarily. Following closely on the heels of valuing one's time, many successful and happy retirees reach a crucial point where they simply stop saving beyond what is truly necessary. We've encountered numerous individuals who, by all objective financial measures, possess more than enough wealth to comfortably live out the rest of their lives without fear of running out of money. Yet surprisingly, they continue to work. Often, this isn't solely driven by the joy, fulfillment, or sense of purpose their work provides. Instead, it's a pattern we've observed where they postpone retirement in 6-month or 1-year increments, often citing the need for added security in their retirement plan. However, here lies a powerful, often unspoken truth. Once you reach a certain level of financial security, the psychological need for more can become an insatiable quest. It rarely feels like enough. This perpetual pursuit of an ever-growing nest egg under the guise of increasing security can actually trap individuals in a cycle of continued labor, even when it's no longer necessary or beneficial to their overall well-being. It might take a significant external event at work, a major project completion, a restructuring, or a shift in company culture, or simply a profound period of internal reflection to truly acknowledge that I have enough. The allure of adding more money can indeed create a deceptive feeling of increased safety, or perhaps the promise of an even grander lifestyle in the distant future. You work longer, save more, and postpone gratification. But the key to breaking this cycle lies in robust financial planning. A comprehensive income plan, meticulously crafted by professionals, can clearly illustrate the real, tangible impact of working an extra year. Does it genuinely move the needle from a 98% success rate to a 99% success rate in your retirement projections? Is that marginal, often statistically insignificant, increase in a financial probability truly worth sacrificing another precious year of your finite life? You've dedicated a lifetime to saving and accumulating wealth, working diligently to build your financial foundation. If you have a solid, well-constructed financial plan that definitively demonstrates your security and ability to live comfortably, then the wisdom of the happiest retirees suggests it's time to begin enjoying the fruits of that labor today. We are never guaranteed how much time or how many precious weeks remain in our lives. Prolonging the enjoyment of your wealth due to an unnecessary psychological pursuit of more can come at a significant cost, the very time and vitality you might later regret not having fully utilized. This principle naturally leads us to our third observation. 3. Stop compromising your health. The most successful and genuinely happy retirees we've had the pleasure of working with universally come to a point where they firmly stop compromising their health for the sake of work or additional earnings. This is a powerful realization, often triggered by first-hand experience or observing its toll on others. I recall a recent video call with a couple, Jim and Sarah. Jim, a hard-working professional, expressed his readiness to retire, though not without a palpable undercurrent of stress. He detailed how the demands of his job were escalating, creating an increasingly taxing environment. When I turned to his wife, Sarah, and asked for her perspective, her response was both honest and poignant. "Dave," she began, "can I be completely frank? This job is truly hurting him. The stress he's under is absolutely horrible. He comes home late, his mind is constantly replaying work issues, leaving no room for exercise or personal well-being. His sleep is visibly impacted, something we both observe with growing concern." Jim, listening intently, nodded in agreement, a quiet affirmation of his wife's observations and his own unspoken struggles. This deeply personal conversation became a significant catalyst for Jim's decision-making process. He recognized that his health and well-being needed to take precedence over other obligations. His motivation to move forward into retirement was rooted in a desire to actively prioritize the foundational elements of a healthy life: consistent, restorative sleep, nourishing nutrition, and regular physical activity. It was time to redirect the immense amount of time and energy previously invested in generating additional income or bolstering savings. Instead, those invaluable resources would now be strategically allocated towards maintaining and improving both his physical and mental health. The understanding is clear. Without good health, even the most abundant wealth loses much of its value and the capacity for enjoyment. It's a critical shift from accumulating resources to actively investing in the very vessel that allows one to experience and enjoy them fully. Before we delve into the next crucial point, I'm curious about your thoughts. How are these insights resonating with you so far? Is this information proving helpful? I genuinely love to hear from you in the comments section below. Have you ever found yourself wrestling with this profound conflict between the unrelenting demands of work and the imperative of maintaining your health. What strategies have you employed, or what decisions did you ultimately make? Perhaps you continually postponed retirement, always aiming for one more year. Did you eventually stop, or are you still pushing forward despite the costs? Many people find the comments incredibly valuable, offering a sense of community and perspective from those who might be a few years ahead on this very path, navigating similar dilemmas. Now let's explore the next vital habit of happy retirees. 4. Stop worrying so much. Another hallmark of truly successful retirees is their conscious decision to stop succumbing to excessive worry. In our modern world, we are constantly bombarded with a relentless stream of anxieties. Every time we turn on the news, scroll through social media, or glance at a newspaper, there's a fresh crisis, a new economic downturn, or a looming global threat. This constant inundation can spoon-feed us an unhealthy dose of fear, leading to unnecessary apprehension in our daily lives. Moreover, this pervasive worry can significantly impact our financial decisions, often leading to impulsive or defensive actions based on fear rather than reasoned strategy. The irony is that quite often, these fears are not rooted in a real and present danger. It's helpful to distinguish between authentic fear and pervasive anxiety. Fear, in its truest form, is a natural and healthy caution in the face of an immediate and tangible threat, prompting necessary action. Anxiety, however, is frequently worry projected onto an imagined future danger, something that hasn't even materialized and often never will. This brings to mind the astute observation from Mark Twain: "I've had a lot of worries in my life, most of which have never happened." This poignant sentiment encapsulates the often futile nature of excessive worry, which exhausts us without yielding productive solutions. The antidote to this pervasive worry isn't simply to not worry, which can feel dismissive and unhelpful. It's a deeper realization. We must acknowledge that there are certain aspects of life over which we have absolutely no control. We cannot control the unpredictable fluctuations of the stock markets, the rate of inflation, interest rate policies set by central banks, geopolitical events unfolding across the globe, or the outcomes of national or international elections. Attempting to worry about these uncontrollable forces is an exercise in futility that drains our energy, steals our peace of mind, and often leads to feelings of helplessness. What we can control, however, are elements directly related to our well-being and financial future. We can meticulously manage and adjust our portfolio allocation, optimize our tax expenses through careful planning, make conscious choices about our spending behavior, and crucially, control the amount and type of news and information we consume. It is genuinely astonishing to witness the visible difference in a person's demeanor and overall happiness when they consciously lighten their news consumption. There's a direct and powerful correlation between reducing external noise and fostering internal peace and contentment. As a timeless verse reminds us, "Don't worry about tomorrow, for tomorrow will worry about itself. Each day has enough trouble of its own." Worrying doesn't magically alleviate the troubles of tomorrow. It merely robs us of the peace and joy of today, diminishing our capacity to enjoy the present. By releasing the grip of uncontrollable worries, retirees free up immense mental and emotional energy, paving the way for a more fulfilling and peaceful present. Fee 5. Stop spending time with people who don't uplift you. A truly remarkable characteristic of the most contented retirees is their conscious decision to curate their social circles, meticulously choosing to stop spending valuable time with individuals who consistently fail to uplift them. Do you have people in your life who, after spending time with them, leave you feeling drained, pessimistic, or simply worse about yourself? These are the individuals who often unconsciously, or sometimes overtly, transfer their negativity onto you, like a pervasive, suffocating cloud. Identifying such relationships, particularly when they involve family members, can be incredibly challenging and emotionally fraught due to deep-seated loyalties and obligations. We recently had a real-life example of this in our office. A client couple was discussing the difficulties presented by a family member who, while perhaps having few other close connections, exuded an overwhelming amount of negativity. Often, when a genuinely positive, optimistic person interacts with a deeply negative one, the negativity can become incredibly potent, capable of sapping all the vital energy from the positive individual. This couple described how, before every visit, they had to mentally prepare themselves, almost as if suiting up for an emotional battle. They viewed themselves as a light and the negativity as darkness, believing their light could drive out the shadow, a coping mechanism to steel themselves for the encounter. However, there are other, more direct solutions. One powerful approach is to have a candid, honest conversation with the person about the impact their chosen topics of conversation or their general demeanor have on you. Explain clearly and calmly how their constant dwelling on negativity, their relentless complaining, or their particular pessimistic viewpoints makes you feel worse about yourself, about life in general, or simply how draining and difficult it can be to engage in such discussions. This requires courage, but genuine honesty, delivered with care, can sometimes be a catalyst for change, or, at the very least, an important boundary marker. If, after such a conversation, things don't improve and the dynamic remains toxic, then a more difficult but necessary step might be to gradually distance yourself. While exceptionally hard when dealing with immediate family, establishing healthy boundaries, even if it means less frequent contact or limiting interaction to specific, positive contexts, is paramount for your own mental and emotional well-being. Being upfront and open about the need for these boundaries, though potentially painful, is often the most respectful and ultimately healthiest path forward for your own peace of mind. Your retirement years are a precious time for peace, personal growth, and enjoyment, and actively protecting your emotional landscape from corrosive influences is a vital act of self-care. 6. Stop spending money on things that aren't aligned with your values. The sixth transformative habit embraced by successful retirees is a disciplined approach to their finances. They stop spending money on things that fundamentally aren't aligned with their core values. This might sound straightforward, but it requires a deep level of self-awareness and intentionality that many people overlook. If you haven't yet undertaken a values exercise, I highly recommend it. It's a simple yet powerful few-minute reflection that can profoundly clarify what truly matters to you. Perhaps relationships, experiences, freedom, health, or personal growth. You can often find guided exercises for this online or in various retirement planning resources. The immediate action step you can take right now, however, is to simply reflect on your spending habits over the past month or even year to date. Take a close, honest look at where your money has actually gone. Are your expenditures genuinely reflecting what you claim to value most in life, or are there significant portions of your budget dedicated to material possessions, fleeting trends, or expenditures that bring only momentary, superficial happiness rather than deep, lasting contentment? Truly happy retirees understand that lasting joy and fulfillment rarely come from accumulating more stuff. Instead, they consciously choose to invest their financial resources, and indeed their precious time, into experiences and relationships. They seek out opportunities that create meaningful memories, foster deeper connections with loved ones, contribute to personal growth, or support causes they passionately believe in. This might mean prioritizing travel to new places, engaging in cultural events, investing in hobbies that bring them joy, or simply creating quality time with family and friends that builds lasting bonds. These are the investments that yield genuine, long-term satisfaction and a richer life, far outweighing the ephemeral pleasure derived from another new gadget, a designer item, or an unnecessary luxury. By intentionally aligning their spending with their deepest values, they ensure that their financial resources serve as a powerful tool for a truly meaningful and joyful life, rather than just a means to acquire possessions. This intentional shift in spending empowers them to live more authentically, purposefully, and joyfully in their retirement years. 7. Stop over-supporting your adult children. Here's the point that often elicits the most strong reactions and can be met with significant pushback, yet it's a crucial insight from the happiest retirees. They stop over-supporting their adult children. This is an incredibly difficult boundary to establish, largely because as parents, we feel an innate, powerful sense of responsibility for our children's well-being, even into their adulthood. It's easy to fall into the trap of believing that if our adult children are struggling, it is our duty to step in and alleviate their financial burdens, perhaps even feeling we are somehow responsible for their current circumstances or their ability to succeed. However, the reality is that such excessive financial support, while well-intentioned and born of love, often inadvertently fosters dependence rather than resilience and self-sufficiency among adult children. It can prevent them from developing their own problem-solving skills, financial acumen, and the grit and resourcefulness required to navigate life's challenges independently. It denies them the opportunity to truly earn their success and build their own solid foundation. Consider the fundamental difference in life stages. You, as a retiree or pre-retiree over 55, have significantly less time ahead of you than your adult children. It is absolutely paramount to ensure that your own retirement finances are robust, secure, and fully shored up before extending substantial, ongoing financial assistance to adult children. They, in most cases, have decades ahead to earn, save, and improve their financial standing through their own means and efforts. You, on the other hand, are entering a phase where you will be relying on your accumulated finances to sustain you for the remainder of your life, with limited opportunities for significant new income. Prioritizing your own financial security is not selfish. It is a vital act of self-preservation and responsible planning, not just for yourself, but for the future well-being of your entire family. A parent who sacrifices their own retirement security to continually support adult children risks becoming a financial burden on those very children later in life, creating a complex and difficult cycle that can strain relationships and resources. This is a hard truth and a challenging boundary to enforce, but it is one that the most successful and contented retirees recognize as essential for the long-term well-being and independence of both generations. It's about empowering your children to stand on their own 2 feet while safeguarding your own golden years so you can truly enjoy them without fear or further obligation. 8. Stop pretending to be someone you're not. This next point, closely related to profound personal contentment, involves a liberation that many retirees experience. They stop pretending to be someone they are not. This aligns perfectly with what many palliative care nurses, like Bronnie Ware, have identified as a major regret expressed by people on their deathbeds. I wish I had the courage to be true to myself and not the life that others expected from me. The happiest retirees embrace authenticity with an invigorating sense of freedom. They courageously choose to be their true selves, shedding the layers of expectation, conformity, and societal pressure that often accumulate over decades of professional and social life. For too long, many of us live with an unspoken pressure to fit in, to meet external standards, or to fulfill roles dictated by family, career, or broader societal norms. We might suppress certain aspects of our personality, hide true interests, or tailor our opinions to avoid conflict or gain approval. This constant effort to conform can be incredibly exhausting and soul-crushing, creating an internal dissonance between who we truly are and who we present to the world. Retirement, for these individuals, becomes a powerful, transformative opportunity to finally shed that burden. It's a realization beautifully captured in a common observation about how our perspectives shift with age. When you're 20, you care about what everybody thinks. When you're 40, you start caring less of what everybody thinks. And then when you're 60, you realize no one even cared or was thinking about you in the first place. This poignant truth highlights the futility of constantly seeking external validation or fearing judgment. by embracing their authentic selves. These retirees unlock a profound sense of inner peace and freedom, allowing them to live their remaining years with genuine joy, integrity, and self-acceptance, unburdened by the need to please others. They realize that the most fulfilling life is one lived in complete alignment with one's own values and deepest, most genuine self. 9. Stop living with regret. The final, yet equally vital, habit that distinguishes the happiest and most successful retirees is their conscious decision to stop living with regret. They actively let go of past mistakes, missed opportunities, or choices they wish they could reverse. Instead of dwelling on what-ifs or allowing historical burdens to weigh them down, they cultivate a mindset focused resolutely on the present moment and, crucially, look forward to the future with optimism. They understand that their future is not merely an immutable extension of their past, but a new chapter with immense potential for growth, joy, and fulfillment, entirely separate from previous disappointments. Here's the compelling evidence. Research consistently shows that periods of life around retirement, extending well into one's 70s and beyond, are often characterized by peak satisfaction and contentment. If you're 60, if you're 70, you have so much to anticipate and look forward to. Charts depicting life satisfaction across age groups often show a dip in middle age as people navigate career pressures and family demands, but then a steady and sometimes significant increase during the retirement years. This period is frequently identified as the area of most profound contentment throughout an individual's entire life. It's a time when many find greater peace, renewed purpose, and deeper enjoyment, freed from the earlier pressures of career, raising families, and societal expectations. Forgiving yourself for past missteps and accepting the unique journey that has led you to this point is a powerful act of self-compassion and emotional liberation. The emphasis shifts from what was to what is and what can be. By embracing this forward-looking perspective, these retirees maximize the enjoyment of the time they have now. They choose to engage fully with their present, knowing that each day holds opportunities for new experiences, continued learning, meaningful connections, and pursuing passions that were once sidelined. They are not defined by their past, but empowered by their ability to shape their remaining years with intentionality, optimism, and an appreciation for the gift of each new day. This profound liberation from regret allows them to truly flourish in retirement, making the most of every precious moment and embarking on a truly fulfilling second act.